What's up guys, we are back with another Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts Dragon Ball review, and we're taking a look at easily, and I've said this a couple times this year already, easily one of my most anticipated Dragon Ball figures for the year. We're taking a look at the Dragon Ball Superhero Beast Gohan, or Son Gohan Beast, however you want to describe him. So I've really been looking forward to this one just because, well, it's a new form for Gohan and I really enjoyed the movie. So of course, I had to get this guy. Now, he comes in our standard style, Figuarts style packaging. So you've got the figure there in the window, you've got the cutout sort of product shot there on the front. He's got that brown color scheme that we've seen with all the superhero stuff. You've got product shots on one spine, a window on the other, and then the back of the box showcases all the stuff he comes with and how he moves, typical fashion for Figuarts. So yeah, let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here we go, out of the package, our SH Figuarts Beast Gohan, easily one of my most anticipated Figuarts for the year. And that says a lot because I've had a lot of most anticipated Figuarts this year. It's been a really, really solid year for this line, and this is more of the same. So we've got a new form for Gohan, which, you know, the movie was great. I really enjoyed it. I really liked him in this form. I liked seeing him with Orange Piccolo. So all of this stuff, I mean, it plays up the very fan service-y nature of things for me, and I really have been looking forward to this guy. He's also built upon a existing framework for Gohan. So of course this is very similar to the regular superhero Gohan that we got, but he's just been changed up to be beast form. So if you like that first figure, chances are you're going to like this one. So let's see what he can do, see how he moves around. We've got a head that can look up pretty good, about that far. He can look down about this far. I will say one thing that I keep noticing when I mess around with this figure is that I keep making gaps between the head and the hair, and I don't know if it's me or if it's just the figure itself. I can put it back together, but it's just something to note. You got good tilt side to side. We've got rotation, so he goes all the way around. You do have, you know, a moving neck, so you can do like the chicken thing if you want. Arms out at the shoulder. They rotate, of course. You do have a rubber overlay for the shirt, so the shirt is not part of the figure in the same way that it is on most other figures. It's not hard or plastic. This is a softer rubbery material. It doesn't necessarily help articulation, kind of hinders it though. You do have a butterfly joint in there to help get his arms across. I feel like this is one area where that shirt doesn't really do him much help. You got your bicep swivel. We've got double jointed elbows. You got your ball hinge, so hinge in and out, swivel all the way around. As far as the torso goes, he does go backwards and he goes forwards. You've got really nice tilt still, and then you've got your rotation, so you can swivel him. I feel like it's okay. It's not the greatest. I feel like the regular Gohan does work a little bit better just based on how he's put together, but he's still relatively well articulated, pretty easy to pose. It's not the hugest problem by any means, but it's different. Legs go out about that far, almost the splits. Kick forward all the way, backward slightly. You got your twist up there. Double jointed knees, still really good range despite the baggy pants. And then down at the ankles, you got your rotation at the top of the ankle. Rocker, which rocker on Dragon Ball Figuarts has historically not been the greatest, and they're improving that. This isn't perfect, but it's going in the right direction. You got hinge forward and backward, and then you got your toe articulation. So overall, I mean, he still moves really well. Like, I've not really said, you know, that overlay is necessarily ruining my experience or anything. I feel like I prefer the harder shell plastic, if you want to call it that, on that standard Gohan. But this also does work pretty well. It does get in the way, there is no doubt about it. But at the same time, he still has tons and tons of potential for posing. Now, as far as the overall look and feel, Beast Gohan is very similar in many ways to the regular Gohan. So I figure the easiest way to talk about him, at least in terms of this, is just to pull the regular figure in, and you can kind of get an idea of what is the same and what's not the same about these two. Obviously, there's one major thing that's different, the head and the hair, and we'll get to that. But overall, they are still very, very similar, but there's a few things about this new figure that do play up the idea of him being a little empowered in some ways. There's some small differences to start with, though. We've got things like battle damage, so, you know, you've got the tatters on the legs and everything. So these are new parts, you know, in terms of comparing him to the old. So you've got tears and you've got new paint applications on the legs. He's also even got some battle damage on the back, and there's flesh paint inside of there. We do, of course, have our similarities when it comes to the arms, the wristbands, the belt, the boots, things like that. We do have our rubbery overlay for the torso. It still plays up the idea of the same kind of clothing, but they look very different when they're next to each other. This does look a little bit more natural compared to the first Gohan. And then you've also got, of course, a different torso. So this Gohan has the sculpted, shirt and gi, whatever you want to call it right now. And it obviously looks like it's sculpted. This looks like he's actually wearing it. And by comparison, that means there is a different torso underneath. And the pecs on this one, they're big. Like, they definitely look a little bit more empowered. He has a different sculpt, a different presence. Like, he's got some big meat up there, for lack of a better way to say it. There are some beefy pecs sitting on this Gohan figure. And it's just little stuff like that that does sort of make him seem a little bit different. He's not any taller or anything like that. He's not any bigger anywhere else. But that one little thing, especially when I get them right next to each other, does kind of stand out as being a pretty impactful change to me. Now, beyond that, of course, we have to talk about the head and the hair, because obviously, if you're getting a new form, Gohan needs a new head and a new hair. And I really like the idea of this one. This very much goes back to Super Saiyan 2 for Gohan, where his hair does become longer, but not necessarily bigger side to side or depth-wise or anything like that. So his hair gets super long and it stands up, and then he gets that one bang. And I really like the color here, so it definitely has a nice fade from this dark, slightly dark gray to a almost white at the ends. Shading is really nicely done on it. There is a ton of sculpt in there, and there is a lot of hair packed into this head sculpt, and it doesn't really impede his articulation or anything like that. It doesn't impede balance either. It is a heavy piece, but it doesn't really get in the way. And then this face, all of the faces really on this one, I'm very happy with. The paint is clean and crisp. And this one in particular, I think, is very much a good one to start with. This is a very stern expression for Gohan. And when he transforms like this, of course, a little bit of a personality shift comes with it. And this one kind of shows that he is ready to throw down, and you don't want to be in his way. So I'm very, very happy with this head sculpt. I like this form. I like the way he looks. I like the way he acts in this in general. So it's cool to see this translated into plastic. But I think they did just a really solid job on this one from top to bottom. It takes a lot of the stuff I like about the first superhero Gohan figure and changes it in some small ways for the better in most cases. Now, as far as accessories goes, this is one of those figures where I feel like I'm not missing anything. Like, he has just about everything you could possibly need in a Dragon Ball Z kind of figure. I'm really happy with the spread here. So to start with, we do get some extra faces. We've got in the box, we've got the sort of stoic, slightly angry expression, the very stern expression. And then we get 3 extra beast faces as well. We get one where he is smirking. We get one where he has gritted his teeth, sort of growling almost. And then we get one where he is screaming, mouth open. You can see the tongue, the whole deal. But we also get a 4th face, and this is very typical for superhero Figuarts that we've seen thus far. We get one for the superhero Gohan, the regular Gohan. And this is the transformation face. So where the eyes have turned red to signify that he's transforming into Beast Gohan. And then you've got the furrowed brow and you've got teeth gritted, the whole deal. So you do get 4 total faces for this figure, and then we get yet another figure for that Gohan. We do get some extra hands as well. So he's got fists on him in the box. You get a set of open palm, charging style hands. We get a set of actual blast hands where the fingers are a little bit more crooked. You get a set of style posy, posturing kind of hands. And then we get a single right hand with the 2 fingers, of course, when he's charging up a special beam cannon. And then we also get, and this is something that I just love when it comes to this line, I overuse these when it comes to displaying them, but we do get a set of crossed arms for Gohan. So you can have him standing there looking super stern with his arms crossed. And I love that. It's something, again, that I kind of overuse when it comes to figures because I just like the way it looks. But we do get something that I know myself and a lot of others have been really, really dying for in this line. We get an effect part, but it is no ordinary effect part. We get a special beam cannon effect, and this is really well done. So it's connected to a hand, and it's another 2-finger hand. So you've got this, you pop that hand on, and then you connect the effect. It's blue, it's got the swirl that wraps around it, it's got a little bit of a frost at the end, and it includes a stand. So you've got a double ball peg on this like barbell piece here, so it pegs into the bottom of the effect, and then you've got a little base here also. I will say that if you've got him posed correctly, you do not need the stand, but maybe for, long-term display, it's going to be useful. But just for taking pictures, you may not actually need it. So this is really good. I'm very happy with this. You know, I've had a custom one for a long time, but this one in particular goes with this Gohan, and it just looks great. And again, this is another instance of kind of giving us everything they can throw at us in one figure. Faces, hands, arms, and then, you know, one of, if not the best effect part that we've gotten in Figuarts for Dragon Ball in quite some time. So yeah, just a really great spread of accessories. And again, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I've got everything I need here to put Gohan in just about every situation that we saw in the movie. So yeah, overall, this is a winner, and I'm not surprised. I kind of went into this one expecting to like him because, well, he's built on a figure that I already like, so the framework is there. He moves well. He does have some challenges because of that shirt, but nothing that's ruining my enjoyment of this figure by any means. He looks terrific. I'm really happy with the sculpt. I'm really happy with the battle damage. I like the hair. I like the face, all of that stuff. And then again, the biggest aspect of this for me is the fact that it's a complete package for me. I've mentioned this a lot on other videos. Just about every damn Figuarts in the Dragon Ball line should have an effect part. I really don't think there's any excuse for them not to, because it's such a major component of the show, or the films, or whatever you want to talk about. He has one of the most important effect parts, period, right now. And I'm so happy that they included it, and not just the fact that it's here, but the fact that it was executed really, really well. He also has a tremendous amount of accessories on top of it in terms of hands and faces and arms and the whole 9 yards, really. He has just about everything I could expect to have wanted in this figure. So that's going to do it for this look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Superhero Beast Gohan. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.